one of the things I found interesting is I went back to look, why do we start looking at the Jewishness of Mary? From my perspective, I think part of it was due to the fact that coming out of Vatican II, there was a whole document on, the relationship of the church to non-Christian religions, which certainly would affect Maryknoll, as they have worked around in these many different nations with Hindu, Buddhist cultures and such. But there's a very important statement, Article 4, on the Jews. And that came forward, giving us freedom to begin to look at this whole question of our relationship to the Jews as our elder, as it were, brothers and sisters in the faith. And the whole question of covenant, which was very important. But this was happening at about the same time as what we called second wave feminism. And this was a whole new exploration whereby women, many of whom looked at Mary and saw her as just entirely too perfect.
And Mary was so perfect, she was like the smartest kid in the class who never made any mistakes and whom sometimes you wanted to hate a little, because, I just remember, I never was told this, but I remember a friend of mine telling me that some nun said to her, well, if Mary didn't chew gum, you shouldn't chew gum.
She became almost somebody who was a spoiler of your social life. And there always was this sense, and even some of the most liberal people in the church, like Cardinal Sunans, talked about, we have the choice of being Eve or Mary, and the woman will only drag the man down if she falls into the pit. I had a wonderful Jesuit spiritual director who I'm in love to this day in heaven. And I remember him saying, I never worry about a fellow if he's out with a good girl. And I got furious, and I said, why are the women the ones who always have to shoulder the responsibility?
That a lot of women found themselves really not very happy with. They had almost a love-hate relationship with her. It's not that they hated her, but it was just, there was a sense in which it was hard to identify with her. That suddenly women are looking for, is there a Mary out there maybe that we could relate to?
Now, I had learned a lot of Hebrew prayer and song over these many years. And one of my absolutely favorite all-time prayers is called the Shehekianu. And it's Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehekianu v'kihimanu v'hikianu lasman hazeh. And what it means is, blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life and sustained us and brought us to this very special moment. Well, I have to say that when I was meditating on the Nativity of Jesus, St. Ignatius wants you to be one of the people in the scene. So I decided to be the innkeeper's wife. And so I was there to help Mary with the baby, and then all of a sudden, there was this beautiful music, and these shepherds come and ask if they can see this baby, and the innkeeper and his wife are looking like proud grandparents, and then pretty soon the shepherds leave and the angels evaporate, and the innkeeper and his wife go in, and Mary and Joseph are sort of snuggling down on the straw with this brand new baby right in between them. And I kept saying in my head, what might Mary have said at that moment? And all of a sudden I thought, maybe she said, Joseph, do you think we should say a Shehekianu? And together they would say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, and so forth. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life and sustained us.
I think for me, what was really the most exciting thing is I shared this about a year ago with an Orthodox rabbi friend of mine. And he said, but you're right. He said, if you have a girl, you say this other prayer. It's the Hatov Vihi Mativ or something. But if you have a boy, you say a Shehekianu. Now he said, I can't prove it was from the 1st century, but it's very, very old. and I have discovered it was indeed referenced in the Mishnah. And that's what in many ways helped me to decide in writing this book.
So I just want to say that for anybody who reads the book, I hope that at some point you will have an opportunity to try to get inside of Mary's prayer life, and that it will be as fruitful for you as it has been for me. And I'm very, very grateful to Robert Ellsberg, to Orbis, to the Maryknoll, to everyone who has made this book possible. Shalom. Thank you very much.
I thought she was great. She held our attention right to the minute.
Excellent presentation. We couldn't have enjoyed it more.
I think it was wonderful, and I'm not really a fan of Mary, but I think this has given me some insight, and I'll buy the book.